If you're interested in vocal production and want to know which plugins to put on your vocal chain, how to get that upfront vocal sound, today's episode is definitely for you. We're talking about the song Workin from James The Mormon. That song features David Archuleta. So not only are there great vocalists in the song, but the episode will dive deep into techniques that you can use to improve your own vocals. My name is Barrett Dastrup, and this is the Acoustic Purr.
I say we out here grinding, we working. I say we out here grinding, we working. I say we out here grinding, we working.
My name is RJ Rouse, and I do some composing, some songwriting, beat making for James The Mormon.
I'm Chance Clift. I do a lot of the, I guess you could call it like executive production of James The Mormon stuff. I do his vocal production and his mixing and mastering.
I actually started making this song with GarageBand. My whole contribution to the song was in GarageBand. That's all I had at the time. A lot of people think that you need like really good equipment, and that stuff helps a lot. And I wish at this time I had all that stuff, but I just worked with what I had. So yeah, I honestly don't remember what I used on it.
So the original sound you used is kind of like a pluck.
It was plucked something.
Yeah.
I usually just start in a piano. I just play something on the piano and I just go and, just go crazy with it.
Because you're making it in GarageBand, usually you'll just like take a loop or something.
Yeah.
Just as like a writing loop, like a basic beat to write a cool piano part over. And then I got, those stems, and I'll kind of use that loop and then kind of add on it. Like I'll just like add a kick that's kind of more like the foundation, and kind of have the loop be more of just like a background percussion kind of thing.
On the same page like the headline knows. Even Jimmy Fallon couldn't shake me on my ropes. Best foot forward like we dancing with a groove. We gon' stay grinding till we all make a move.
I record on a Shure SM7B microphone. It's like, it's good. It's good for what it is, and it gets the job done. And I've like learned how it sounds and how to manipulate it. And so I just upgraded my my recording interface. I got a Universal Audio Apollo quad. And if you know anything about like Universal Audio interfaces, they're like super, just really nice preamps, like just a really good interface. And it comes with all these cool Universal Audio plugins, like proprietary plugins. And so I think the first James The Mormon song that we used that like kind of chain on was pretty sure it was Treasure, actually. Did you do Treasure?
Yeah.
So he has that song Treasure. And RJ did the beat for that one too, and that was the first song where I used my new kind of rig for that. So that was really fun. For almost everything James had done up until Treasure, I wasn't using any effects like going in, other than my Shure SM7 microphone, because they're pretty low gain microphones. They're like dynamic mics or whatever. So I have a Fethead inline preamp. I just plug into the end of it, and it just gives it a lot of like clean gain. It's just like a gain boost or whatever. So and I'd record before into an Apogee Duet, which like you can't really like run any plugins going in. There's just like latency or whatever. And so I used to not record with any EQ or compression going in, but now that I got the Universal Audio interface, I use a Universal Audio EQ, and then I use the LA2A compressor. Just like really mild, like almost almost no gain reduction. When I listen to a lot of my older rap mixes, like before I started working with James, I'm just like, I used way too much reverb on everything. I was treating rap vocals like a singer of a pop song, and like, you just don't do that. You kind of like, one thing I've learned to do is like, replace reverb on a lead rap vocal with just like a really mild slap delay. So I use like Echo Boy for like a slap delay kind of bus. I'll also use the Waves AX vintage oral exciter. I think that's what it's called. It's just a cool kind of like it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. Just kind of gives it some presence and like color or whatever. And then I use the and this is kind of where I was getting at with the doubling the lead vocal. So I'll use a gentle chorus chorusing kind of effect using the Sound Toys Micro Shift plugin. I'll run my parallel compressed vocal into a little bit of that to another bus that's the Micro Shift plugin, and it kind of gives the lead vocal a little bit of like width and like sort of gentle chorus. We have David Archuleta on this song, which is just like amazing that James was able to make that happen. And then like it was really cool that like he just like came to my house, dude. He just like, you know, like sometimes I feel like some local artists are like too cool to like come to my tiny little like you know, backroom studio, but David was down. He came. He was in town for like a couple of days to do like a show or something, and he came over and just laid down his vocal. It was dope. But so we had him for a couple hours, and we had him do all of his, you know, obviously focused on getting all the lead vocals just right. Once we're done with everything, we just love to like make a couple of kind of just blank tracks and just let the singer sort of just riff over the whole song. And so we had David do that. Sometimes you riff with words, and sometimes it's better to just do it with like an ooh or an ah. And so I'm pretty sure that was the case with how we got that intro, that we just kind of we'll listen through the riffs later, like the runs he does, and then we'll kind of pick out our favorites. And James's decisiveness is really good with that kind of thing, because it can get overwhelming. I mean, you get like a lot of material to work with, a lot of takes, and sometimes for me, like it's hard to like kind of prioritize like what, you know, it all kind of starts to sound the same. But James is like has a pretty good ear for like, nope, that's the riff. That's like the riff. If there was like 100 riffs between like 3 takes, you know, 3-minute song, 3 different takes, it's like 9 minutes of riffs, you know. And James is pretty good at like finding the one that he resonates with and loves. In order to make it sound like a sample, sometimes the best thing to do is like just mess with it, just start putting plugins on it. Like that's kind of the fun where you're like playing with toys part. Like some of the other parts are just kind of like work or whatever, but sometimes when it gets to that part where you're like, let's make a cool like little ear candy riff sort of thing, that's when you just start kind of like twisting knobs on the plugins and trying to find like happy little accidents. But sometimes it's cool to like pitch shift those vocal samples. I'm pretty sure we did that. No, I know we did it at least for some of the parts of those little vocal chopped riffs that David did. We'll like take it and either pitch shift it, or like sometimes you formant shift it. Like Sound Toys has that little Alter Boy plugin they gave out for free a couple years ago, and I know a bunch of us like jumped on that and got it. Yeah, like Little Alter Boy is great for like doing a formant shift on something when you just want to make it sound if James sings a vocal, but we want to make it sound like a vocal sample, not necessarily like James, we'll like put a formant shifter on it to just make it sound like some deep, whatever, a different person. That's one of the synth basses I added that stayed. I had one that was more like kind of like percussive and kind of staccato, I think maybe in the verses of the pre-chorus, that just wasn't right for the song. I'm almost positive it was massive. I usually, for that sound, that's kind of like a go-to sound I use on a lot of rap or trap kind of, or pop stuff. And I either have a couple massive presets I like for that kind of sound. Sometimes I have this Juno synth plugin. It's like called Tal Uno or something like that. I have like a cool kind of similar like sort of chorusy low sub bass kind of sound that I use from that Juno plugin too, but I'm almost positive that one was a massive patch. There's like as the song really builds up, there's some cool like tropical house kind of elements, like those like the marimba kind of sound that was one of Trevor O'Corrin's contributions to the song.
Big thanks to Chance Clift and RJ Rouse for taking the time. Here is Workin by James the Mormon.
I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working.
Tell me how to do it and I do. Fueling my ambition like I'm filling up a pool. Ain't my choice, but it's up to me to choose. Hammer out my goals like I'm working with my tools. On the same page like the headline knows. Even Jimmy Fallon couldn't shake me out my roots. Best foot forward like we dancing with a groove. We gon' stay grinding till we all make a move. Are you gonna find a baby my way? Are we gonna grind or are we gon' play? We gon' give it time but never go away. Said it either black or white but not gray. Are you gonna find a baby my way? Are we gonna grind or are we gonna play? We gon' give it time but never go away. Said it either black or white but not gray.
I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working.
We could only win, never lose. Cause the only thing we ever share be the truth. We gon' feed the fire till it's burning down the roof. Focus on your heart cause the feels be the proof. Yeah, cause my soul lighting up like a fuse. Always down to share, never that's our food. Shoulder to the wheel like a NASCAR crew. Head in the world, baby, that's our school. Are you gonna find a baby my way? Are we gonna grind or are we gonna play? We gon' give it time but never go away. Said it either black or white but not gray. Are you gonna find a baby my way? Are we gonna grind or are we gonna play? We gon' give it time but never go away. Said it either black or white but not gray.
I said we out here grinding, we working. 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 I said we out here grinding, we working, grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working. I said we out here grinding, we working.